Hi guys, Josh here, welcome to FramesPerSecond. Today we are doing a fashion shoot with Anastasia. What's up? So today we're shooting with Portra 435mm and Ektachrome 100VS, which is my favorite film, in 120. And so Anastasia is one of the most stylish people I know.
Sure.
And so we're going to be doing some streetwear kind of stuff. And her being a
baby.
yeah.
Amazing tracksuit.
Whoop. And we're also shooting some Super 8 200T with a warming filter because unfortunately I couldn't find any 50D for daylight balance, so there's only 200 tungsten that I could use, and so to make it more normal I've had to tape on this warming filter, so let's do it. So this is just a fun little photo shoot I did with my friend Anastasia. It is kind of just those kind of shoots where you just get to have fun and experiment, and unfortunately she blinked in this photo. She's one of the most stylish people I know, and we had fun. I guess one thing you can probably notice from the way I shoot things is that I often go from a lower angle. Of course, not all the time, but a lot of the time. And so I don't think I should have had her lift her chin up as much in that shot and the next one, just because in combination with her haircut and just the angle and the wideness of the lens, it wasn't the most flattering. And so that's one thing you need to keep an eye out when you're shooting models, is just finding angles that are more pleasant on their look. And this can change every time. There's some models who, doesn't matter how wide the lens is, they'll look great. But because it's a combination of them lifting their chin up and me also being a bit lower, it can make for an unpleasant look sometimes. And even though you are pickier when shooting on film, the first couple of shots are a bit rough because you really need to get into the rhythm of it. And as the shoot progresses, you get better and better and more happy with the shots as you go. But of course, not every shot's going to be perfect. This shot I really love. I love the Ektachrome. Unfortunately, because it was really expired, it did have a really magenta tinge, but the scans were a lot more magenta than the slides, and it can be a bit tricky getting the scan right from the slides, and so I did do a bit of post-processing with that, not only to get it closer to how the slide actually looks, but also just to improve it. And I know there's a lot of people that don't like editing their film, but I do. And when you're digitizing the film through the scans, it is an interpretation, so you're kind of editing it as you're scanning. And all the tools I really use in Photoshop are tools that are based on darkroom tools. And so I'm just adjusting the exposure a little and fixing up the color balance, which you do when making a print. So to all the purists that like to just put negative comments just because I edit my images, I honestly don't care. I'll continue to do it, and you can continue to complain about it, and I will continue to ignore you. And here we have the Super 8. And so the 200T is a lot grainier than I was expecting, but then again, this is Super 8, so it is a smaller medium. And the warming filter did cut out a bit of light, but it did match the color so that it wasn't blue and tungsten, which was good. But unfortunately, I think it did make the autofocus not work as well, and some of the shots are a bit softer than I was expecting, even though it is Super 8, which is already pretty soft already. But yeah, aside from that, it turned out well. A bit grainier than I was expecting, but yeah, if I did have the 50D that day, it would have looked a lot better. And so unfortunately, we did have a bit of cloud cover this afternoon. Like, for the whole morning before the shoot, it was nice and bright and sunny, and then the clouds kind of kicked in, which kind of ruined what I was hoping to get, but I still got some good shots. Part of the sky is nice and blue. Unfortunately, when we turn around, not so much. Just go out there and explore and find locations that aren't used often, and if they are used, find different angles and how you can use it to your benefit and to make your work a bit different and unique. And so a friend of mine did a shoot in this location before, and so I was kind of like, what can I do that was different from the way they use the location? And so I did find quite a few different shoots. But yeah, I do my best to try and find unique and different locations that don't get used a lot. As you've seen in the video, Portra is just a great film with great skin tones. We've talked enough about Portra in previous episodes. I don't think I really need to talk about it more. You can go back and look at some other episodes if you want to learn a bit more about that. But yeah, the Ektachrome being expired did add for some mad color shifts and some chunkier grain than you would expect from 100 ISO film. And yeah, here we have the Super 8, and you can see how cloudy the sky is. I was hoping for a bright sunny afternoon to play with that golden hour, but the clouds had other ideas, and so we didn't get to play with that. Unfortunately, this is where I ran out of battery with my Super 8 camera, and so there's no more footage, which is a big shame because this jumpsuit was really awesome. One thing I'd recommend for photo shoots is find industrial areas. They usually have unique textures and colors and bright colors as well, and so there's a lot you can play around with that. But we still got some good shots, and I'm just trying to create more depth with the model's body, like with her foot out like that. I'm just trying to find some shots that other people don't use as much, but then of course I do shots that are a bit common. And yeah, I think the more you shoot, the more you find out what you kind of like, and the more you find what is a bit cliche for your own style, and you need to shake it up a bit, but then sometimes it just turns out good like this. But yeah, Portra is a great film with a lot of dynamic range and a lot of play in post if you want to do that. And if you don't do as much editing, especially with shadows, overexpose it. Portra is great for overexposing, and I didn't do that with as many shots as I would have liked with this shoot. But yeah, you can overexpose it by 1-2 stops and you're fine, and you'll get a really nice image either way. I mostly like to shoot my slide film with front light, and here you can see how that is a bit of a benefit because the lack of dynamic range, your shadows are kind of screwed. But yeah, this is probably my favorite shot, and I think it turned out pretty well.
Oh yeah.
Okay guys, hope you liked the video. Feel free to let me know your thoughts on the images, and I had a fun time.
I had an awesome time.
Yeah.
I always have fun with Josh. He's one of the easiest people to work with.
Yeah.
His shots are always on point.
Oh, thank you.
So, always going to work with you.
Yeah, so feel free to like and subscribe guys, and turn on those post notifications so you know when there's a new episode. Anyway, I'm Josh, Anastasia, FramesPerSecond. Get out there, shoot some film.